Welcome.
Morning.
welcome.
Hey, guess what? Wake up, Web3. It's Tuesday and we're back.
Yep. And HBAR is absolutely being sent. Woo!
Everything is being sent. We love it. Good morning, John 316, Mr. Gray, Ice. Good to see you. Jamaica, Jamaica, unfortunately, is going to get smashed later here
Smash
today.
him.
So yeah, it's my wife. If you guys don't know, my wife is a doctor, and she was going to go down to Jamaica here in a couple of weeks and do some medical missions work, and go out to a hospital out in the non-resort area of Jamaica, and do some medical care. And they had to cancel that trip because Jamaica is shut down.
That's wild, man. I think they said it was the highest wind speed ever recorded for a hurricane.
Yeah, I saw that. Definitely, and one of the lowest millibar things ever as well. So,
yeah,
gosh,
I would not want to be there right now. That's for sure. But
we will say a prayer that everybody's safe there, even though it's going to be pretty bad. But
big
crypto
news
is pumping,
today, guys. Woke up with a little surprise today, a couple surprises. And we'll get into the bubbles here in a second. JC's going to do the bubbles.
Oh, bubbles, my bubbles.
Something we've been waiting for a really long time. Just went live, guys, and there's so much bullish news with this project. Yeah.
John 316, is your dad still there, or is he no longer in Jamaica? Is he safe? I realize it's going to take 30 seconds for that question to get to you from the time I'm asking it.
Fair.
But
yeah, guys. I mean,
look at that. Look at all the green.
Yeah, we did see the markets wake up over the weekend and into today. We're seeing a big resurgence on HBAR, and some other big projects. Crow pumping big, awesome to see, and Tau, interesting. I want to keep that on the radar, guys. Big AI project, and that is up.
Look at that in the last day. It's a 10% jump.
Yeah.
It's a
Tau
$50
is the
jump.
biggest AI project in crypto right now. So if you're getting into AI, it's a good play for now.
Sweet meh.
Yeah.
Altcoin. Let's see what else we got.
So
Hondo.
when the markets drop 20% or gain 20%, I always get those messages from everybody like, "What's going on? What happened? Why is HBAR pumping? Why is this pumping?" So basically, there was obviously something very big that was announced a while ago, the ETFs for HBAR, and they went live about 12 hours ago, JC, something like that. And,
say that again. Sorry,
no, it's fine. The ETF went live yesterday or 12 hours ago?
Oh, no. 9:30 this morning. It opened with the stock exchange this morning. Yep.
Wow. It's a big day, guys.
Yep. Lots of ETF approvals, not just HBAR, lots of ETF approvals, but we love HBAR, and HBAR absolutely sent starting yesterday on the news that the ETF was launching today. So, yay.
Yeah. And so of course you're seeing some other projects pumping as well, but HBAR we really wanted to highlight because we've been talking about HBAR for a very long time, and some of these other coins on here are going to be on some of our other pick videos coming up soon, so keep an eye out for those. But I really think some confidence is being built back into the market. It's allowing people who maybe aren't too comfortable with crypto to be able to invest in it safely.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing here is it's allowing traditional investors to kind of get into this new scary industry that where a lot of negative things happen and gives kind of crypto a bad name. But this is so big because it's really just normalizing crypto with the rest of the financial entities and investments. So.
Yeah, and it's why is crypto's down a little bit? It made it up to 115, and now it's back down to. No, it's back up to 115. So 115 down to 113, back up to 115. I'm going to do some other charts here in a minute to illustrate this. But why are we back green? A lot of good things happening. We're still being held back, obviously, by the U.S. government shutdown, because I'm actually surprised these ETFs got approved with the government being shut down right now. So that definitely made those tokens jump. But Apparently, good progress on negotiations between the U.S. and China on trade deals, which makes the markets happy, and less uncertainty is better. The market will eventually digest any good or bad changes. What they don't like is the not knowing which way it's going to go. But yeah, exactly. Kyle, is that KV? Or is that a different? Is that a different Kyle?
I hope it's
Kyle.
A
different Kyle. Yep. Easing the China tensions. The Clarity Act should be done before the end of the year. Once they get back in session and get done with their political grandstanding and finger pointing, and acting like children. No, you did it. No, you did it. Nuh-uh. Yeah. Okay, shut up. But yeah, ETF approvals have already started, and more coming. Rate cuts. We should hear tomorrow about rate cuts for October, and then we'll have another Fed meeting in the first part of December. But yeah, I mean, it's all good news, and I think we knew most of the stuff was coming. We knew the Clarity Act was probably going to get done before the end of the year. We knew ETFs were going to be getting approved. What the big weight around the market's neck was the U.S. China trade deal, I believe. So hearing that that's moving forward well is gonna do well for us. But yeah, so I want to switch and talk about something real quick before we get into our main thing here. I want to point this out. We're already up to 3.89 trillion market cap. From we went all the way down to 3.5. So we've recovered a good little bit of that. But let's go back and look at this. I don't want the 24-hour. Can I get like a weekly? Yeah. So this is where we were. 113, right in here, 114. Then we had the huge crash all the way down to 105. We're already back to 115. The market, that huge Black Friday crash from 2.5-3 weeks ago, it's already recovered.
And
we're past where we were before the crash.
That's insane, because this is in the matter of days, guys. And I just want to make a quick point about this. Thanks, JC. We're already back in altcoin, or Bitcoin dominance is heavy right now, but people get scared out of altcoins when the markets get like this, and it's tough to eat a 30% drop. It is, but if you're patient and you wait, this is usually what happens. This is actually what always happens to most good projects. So it's, a lot of people bought the dip because they saw when that massive drop happened, they were confident that it was going to recover. I mean, we had all these ETFs that were pending approval. We have, as JC just said, we have rates being announced soon again. It's like everything's really lining up for, excuse the metaphor, but the perfect storm.
Yeah.
For this to really go. And we're still in pretty heavy Bitcoin dominance right now. So I think it's still a good time to be buying alts.
Yeah, definitely. We dropped right before, and we talked about this ad nauseum. We were all the way up in here into full altcoin season. We were at 70. And then, the Black Friday thing hit, and we dropped down to all the way to 26, and we're still hanging out here. People are still, bullish on Bitcoin. It's still, they're going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to roll their gold profits into Bitcoin like they did last week. But look how quickly we dropped back into the neutral territory. We were in extreme fear for fear for 2.5 weeks. And now we're just back to, okay. All right.
Hi, Kyle.
In 3 weeks, guys.
I didn't even pull up the info chart. But yeah, sorry, JC. Exactly. This happens so fast, guys, and it's gonna keep happening this way, And when the blow off top comes for the cycle, it happens within a few weeks. I think JC pointed this out on one of our older shows. That that big wick up, that huge blow off top candle, you don't have long to catch it. But right now we're seeing some pumps, we're seeing some things going up. But there's still so much room for this to move. I mean, we're still in Bitcoin dominance. All the money is still in Bitcoin, and it's going. So I think that eventually people are going to start rotating into alts, and that's when we're going to see major action on the altcoins. But it's up for debate when that's actually going to be. I mean, some people are saying December, some people are saying January, February, and people are saying even later. So
it'll be like, if we go back and look at the previous, this is the last cycle peak. Look, it double topped kind of here, but like, so as long as you're getting out somewhere in here, if you're trying to take profits and roll, if you're trying to sell the top and buy the bottom, as long as you're somewhere near the top and then somewhere near the bottom, you're doing fine.
And I love what you bring up all the time. Even if you were the worst trader ever and you bought Bitcoin at the top and sold it at the bottom, or if you bought it at the top and just held it all the way to the bottom, and then
right back up, just don't sell it.
Just don't sell, because these assets are appreciating if you're in good projects. I don't think, Fartcoin or Doge is going to pump the way that the rest of the alts are going to pump. But they're going to.
Sorry, the only meme coin I think will have any type of staying power long term might be Doge. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, and the market cap's already huge for a meme token. It's like what, $1 billion or something like that.
Who knows? I don't even follow memes. So here's a question I have looking at that Bitcoin chart a second ago. Last cycle we had a double top, but we never actually had that blow off top candle, that wicked all the way up to 80, 90, 100. Are we going to do that again? Or have we seen the end of blow off tops for Bitcoin? Or are we, do you think that from here, do we have we creep our way up to 125 and we creep our way up to 150, and then we have one last 1 week run where we blow it up to 200? Or do we just kind of 125, 150, and then bear market? What do you think? Let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you're watching the later thing. I just, what's this cycle going to look like, do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely like to see the guys in comments. Let us know, because last cycle was what we call double top, and what that means is it peaked twice to the same point during those candles. And it confused and scared a lot of people out of the markets, I think, because a lot of people, when Bitcoin went to its first top last cycle, they're like, it's going to keep moving, like we're going. And then it dropped very heavily. And
morning, Fosky and Mona. Good to see you.
Yeah, morning, guys. And after that, it dropped heavily, and people got scared. They thought the top was in, and they started selling. And it turns out it was a fake out, and it started moving back up again all the way to those levels. So people were like, oh, it's going to go even higher. It hasn't even gone yet. And it hit its previous high and then absolutely dumped into a bear market. So,
yeah. So Mr. Gray and John 316 both say that they think it's going to be a slow, steady grind or a slow, steady crawl up. So here's my next question. What does the bear market look like? Does Bitcoin have a 70% drop again? Or are we past all that?
That is a really interesting point, because Mr. Mark, thank you. I'm here today. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing to think about, because you have we've talked about this before, but you have all this institutional investment and all these new on-ramps into crypto. It's getting mass adoption. I don't think people are going to be selling as hard as they used to. I mean, yeah, we're going to see a drop. We're going to see a bear market, obviously. But, with all of this money, in the reserves and just everything, I think we might not have as bloody as a drop. But who knows? People might be leverage trading again and might get absolutely wrecked, like we saw in the last cycle. So I guess or in the last drop that we just had. So, I mean, definitely be aware that can,
Interesting. Yeah.
I think that's a possibility for sure.
All right, let's talk about Reptar's favorite project. I didn't even pull up a bunch of, this is just the news. I'm not even going to pull up multiple. We're just going to scroll through these because, boom, this is what's up.
So why does this matter? What is this? So Canary is a very large investment firm that's allowing people to buy shares of stocks on the traditional stock market, stock exchange. And HBAR, has been added to this mainstream traditional finance stock market, big thing everyone's heard of, but it gives it validation to me is the important thing of this. It's not as exciting as some of the other things that we're looking forward to, like the Clarity Act, but this is huge because this is a cryptocurrency being listed on the NASDAQ. That is massive for this, and that's why we saw this big pump. And I think that it's going to continue to run.
I had it pulled up. So here you go. This is the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. This is the HBAR ETF, the Canary Capital Group LLX Canary HBAR ETF on the NASDAQ. It launched this morning, and it opened at $28.92. And let's see. It is currently sitting at $28.06. So down just a touch. There you go. It is officially, you can buy. So we talk about this a lot, but if you're new to crypto and you need to have this, reiterated, or if you've never heard of this before, an ETF, an exchange traded fund, is a fund. You're probably familiar with a mutual fund, and that does not to steal from Jeff Foxroy. That does not mean everybody's having a good time. Sorry,
some people are getting wrecked.
You might be a redneck if rednecks think mutual funds means everybody's having a good time. No, so you're familiar with mutual funds, and these are funds that are traded on the stock market. This fund particularly holds HBAR.
So it's kind of a rhetorical question, but why is the stock $20 when the price of HBAR currently is around 20 cents? Weird. But I'm assuming that it's lumping a certain amount of actual coins into each share. This is the only thing that would actually make sense to me. But just keep in mind, guys, the price for the stock is going to be different than the cryptocurrency's actual price.
Correct. Now you're buying a financial instrument from a financial institution. You're not buying a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they are holding the crypto for you, which
you are not buying HBAR.
Yeah. So,
but that's for people who want to de-risk.
But I guess that brings up the elephant in the room. Why buy the ETF if you just buy HBAR? And realistically, it's because holding crypto can be risky. You can get hacked, or it's confusing sometimes. It's difficult to learn. So if you can have an entity like this hold your funds instead of, you trying to figure it all out yourself, there's benefit in that, I think, to some people.
Sure.
But if you have the skills and the know-how to handle your funds on your own, I would personally decide to probably just hold HBAR itself.
Yep. And we do believe HBAR. Reptar, if you want to, while we're chatting about this, if you want to pull up the governing council on HBAR, let me know when you have that while we're talking about this, because that's why we're so bullish on HBAR. But this is the Canary Capital Group's this is the NASDAQ regulation. If you want to pull this up, all you have to do is literally type in NASDAQ regulation or NASDAQ Canary Capital, whatever. HBAR NASDAQ regulations. It'll pull up this for you. It's also, if you just type in HBAR on the news here, this is from Mark Chadwick. Thank you, Mark, for copying this. But this is just from the NASDAQ. But Mark points out this, and this is important. The ETF will hold actual HBAR in custody. They're not holding, they're actually holding the asset. That's the thing about these spot funds as opposed to futures funds. They actually have to hold. Excuse me, got a little protein drink coming back on me there. The spot funds actually have to hold the asset that they're representing. So they're going to hold it in BitGo and Coinbase, and they will be using CoinDesk for pricing. Good to know, because that tells you to think. But here, HBAR, this is Hedera's page. We just showed that. All in crypto. Canary spot ETFs are going live within hours. What day one inflows are you hoping for? That'll be an interesting thing, and we can talk about that tomorrow. How much volume, how much money comes into the ETF? All right, let me switch mine off, and you can add yours in. And boom.
All
There you
right, guys. So this is pretty insane. We've talked about this a lot on the show before, and it's really a big reason we got into HBAR, because when the biggest tech companies, financial institutions, and private contractors for the government are bullish on something, we got to pay attention. Especially when there's, other companies too that are strange, like Ubisoft. It's a gaming company. So, and they've done things, partnerships with NASA, where they're using the hash graph to send data between satellites and stuff. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, JC, but aren't they tracking World Health Organization data as well?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't want to say 100%, guys. If you know, correct us. If we say something wrong, please correct us.
And somebody definitely needs to correct me in the chat. Tau may be bigger than Render or Near. I do think so. Yeah, Tau is a pretty big project. I don't know what I would pick out of all three of those, to be honest. Render, I think, is a safer bet. Near is doing really cool stuff too, but I think any of those picks are going to be great for AI. But so this token HBAR, most of you already know this, but it's dealing with real world assets. So there's a ton of utility and a lot of value to what's going on with HBAR. And this is really what grabbed my attention when I first learned about this project, because they are quite literally changing so many industries, and it's being utilized for what it offers.
Yeah, it's this one is one that I will, I'll take profits, but I probably won't sell the majority, or I probably won't sell more than half my bag ever. So
right here, offers a broad range of products like solutions in electronics, healthcare, energy, and more. Like, obviously, we talk about real world assets and stuff. So it's adding value to a lot of different industries right now. And I really am, like JC said, it's one of our most bullish projects, besides all the AI stuff, because AI is a big narrative. It's going to be big. But so is real world assets. So.
Yep, and it's all basically. We've said this a lot, but I think if you're going to spread out a little bit of capital across the top 20 or 25 cryptos, you'll be fine.
Exactly. And
not that we're telling you should do that, but
I'm going to do that
you'll be fine
today.
I'm going to do it even more. So where does HBAR top out? What did we say in our what was our prediction? Did we say $5? Do we see HBAR at 5?
I think it was between 2 and 5. Realistically, I'm pretty sure it's going to go to $2. That's 10x.
Yeah, I like 2 easy.
Yeah, 2.
What do you guys think?
2 is good. 5 maybe if we see some crazy cycle with Bitcoin or some, and that's the only way I would see that happening. But who knows? I mean, again, we have a lot of institutional and government, adoption happening. So let me
pull up some other stuff, because we do have some other news. But we're mega bullish on HBAR. Let me pull up.
And the DeFi platform on HBAR, guys. Ooh.
Yes. Let's talk about Sauce.
We want to talk about Sauce? Sauce is ripping right now too.
Is it? What is Sauce at right now?
Yeah, Sauce went up a lot.
Sauce is over. Oh gosh. Sauce is back over 4 cents. Sauce is up 25%.
So if you can you show or I can do it if you are the
yeah, if you'll pull it up. I'm trying to. There was another graphic I wanted to pull up. I just got to find it again. I thought I had it, and I must have searched for something on that window.
Saucer swap. All right, cool. So again, we talk about this a lot, but just for any new people out there, or if you haven't really gotten into it, if you're watching the show for the first time, guys, boom. Look at this. Best DeFi platform on Hedera. And it's really kind of had a lot of updates. They've done a lot of new things with it. essentially, guys, you're able to stake your tokens and earn insane APY on some of these. There's definitely a lot of risk to something like this. But it's important to understand that, how DeFi works in the first place before you get into kind of some of this stuff. But this is a great way where if you're holding HBAR and you don't plan on selling it anytime soon, you can really get some good rewards from some of these pools. Obviously, the higher risk are going to be higher APY, so to your own discretion. But some of these pools that I think are pretty safe, especially Sauce HBAR. I mean, you're getting 15% APY on that, or APR. So,
yep. Yeah. Of course, if you want to get into the degen stuff, you can get 120.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, 122%. But Dovu, and for those of you guys who don't understand, if one of these tokens moves against the other one, you're seeing some depreciation in price. Yeah. Which is why the APY is so high on these. But HBAR 40.
Mr. Mark or Ice says, I'll be taking some profits on HBAR at $1. Yeah, I will pull some.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think I will sell more than half of my HBAR stack.
Yeah, and again, it's HBAR DeFi is really just kind of starting. They've had a lot of upgrades, as I said, but they have all kinds of stuff on here. Obviously, you could just regular stake your HBAR. You can swap on here for different HBAR tokens, like buy Sauce. Yep. So, DeFi has always been a big thing in crypto. And one thing that was brought up at the when they did what was the meeting called, JC, with the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, I know. The meeting last week.
The Federal Reserve announcement where they were talking about the new financial system. They specifically brought up DeFi. DeFi has been always kind of a fringe kind of thing that people do and really risky. So I think it's going to get more mainstream and more people are going to start being familiar with DeFi. And that's when we're going to start seeing some of this action on like things like Sauce. But when HBAR goes, Sauce goes too. So, and I think it's going to.
Here's some news I hope is true.
Oh, go. Ooh. A few months, that's going to send the market into an absolute spike. Done.
Of course, I don't know who Crypto Nobber is, so whatever, but that would be nice.
Ooh, Mr.
No idea
Mark,
if it's true or not.
300% on USDC Black. Love that.
Nice. What did I have? Where'd it go? Right here. This is interesting to know. JP Morgan predicts 14 billion in inflows from upcoming altcoin ETFs. That's for them, like for their business. I watched a great video a while ago, and it was brought up again yesterday as I was watching some crypto news. Because we talk a lot about market cap and how much it takes, to move a market cap up. Like the Bitcoin market cap right now is, let's say it's $2 trillion. I know that's not exactly right, but just the easy math. So you think in order for Bitcoin to double its market cap, that market cap will be $4 trillion. And you're like, holy crap, that would take $2 trillion of inflows. No, that is not correct. If in order for the price of Bitcoin to double, let's say from 100 to 200,000, one of two things needs to happen. People need to buy it all the way up, or there needs to be a huge gap. Like if you could buy one Bitcoin for $100,000 and then there were no more Bitcoin for sale until you get to $200,000, if you bought 2 Bitcoin, then that last Bitcoin you bought was at $200,000. Suddenly the market cap doubled and you only spent $100,000 extra. So I know that's an absurd example, but it makes the point. I'll give you the example that I heard yesterday. $1 of purchase into XRP equates to like $500, moving the market cap $500. So if the market cap is $1 trillion and you buy $1 worth, now the market cap is $1 trillion and 500, if that makes sense. So it doesn't take double the amount of money to move the market cap. The market cap is simply the shares times the price. So if no one is willing to sell a Bitcoin until it gets to $200,000, then the market cap is $200,000 times Bitcoin. That doesn't mean it takes $2 trillion to move the market $2 trillion. Like,
it seems like you've been researching this a lot because of XRP's market cap and where you think XRP's gonna go. You sneaky. Yeah, I knew it. No, but he's right, because a lot of people talk things like, you know, XRP is going to $250, $256, or $500, whatever KV said it was going to be on our price prediction video. For
$10,000.
$10,000 XRP. Kyle would
$15.
Faint. He would absolutely faint.
Told you, space station money.
But you know, it's interesting because, you know, a lot of money is going to move into these bigger projects, especially XRP. And like JC said, if people aren't willing to sell and you keep holding, it can get interesting. So
not that anyone would ever do that and go, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin until 200,000. I mean, people will do that, but everyone will not do that. There won't be that big of a gap. People will fill the gap with sells, but that's only to make the point that hypothetically, in some kind of made up situation, you could understand that it doesn't take $2 trillion to double Bitcoin's market cap. It just takes the price going up double from where it is and people not willing to sell underneath that. Market cap, in one sense, market cap is absolutely meaningless as far as determining what the price will be. The price will be whatever people are willing to pay for it. The market cap is secondary to that.
You know, speaking of that, it's funny because I was speaking to somebody about Pokemon cards, funny enough, and how a Charizard is worth, a first edition Charizard, and, you know, 10 plus or Gem 10, it's like $300,000. Why would somebody pay $300,000 for a card? Piece of paper. It doesn't do anything. It's kind of like how people will pay $200,000 for an NFT that maybe does or doesn't do anything. And the reason it's valuable is because there's people willing to buy it and there's people that don't want to sell it. That's really what it comes down to. Because it has some kind of value. And it's going to be really interesting to see how much people value crypto after all of this is, you know, kind of live and all the ETFs come through. So,
well, there's a story I read. I was reading a book. It had nothing to do with Google, but this guy used Google as an example. The guys at MIT that wrote the code for Google tried to sell it to a tech company for like $200,000.
That's wild. Think about that. Imagine
Oops.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people are going to be saying "oops" with a lot of these projects that are that. But
if you're listening, it's not going to be you. You're going to be like, "Yeah, I knew that. I got in early."
Yeah, if you're here, we're going to be talking about some projects that I guarantee you a lot of people are not discussing, because we stick with some of the big ones, but I don't see a lot of people talking about Sauce or DexRP or some of the other things that we've got.
Ooh, DexRP. Let me look.
Well, yeah, let's bring that up since we're talking about XRP already.
Yeah, current.
Big one.
So you guys know the DexRP, the first, this is a pre-sale for their token, but they're going to be a decentralized exchange, the first decentralized exchange on XRP. You can see the current price, if you wanted to buy the pre-sale, is 24.7 cents. They're going to be listing it at 35 cents. You guys watched us buy it live at 8.5 cents. So yeah.
And guys, obviously DeFi, as we said, is a really big deal in crypto, and a lot of money moves through it. And
they are listed now on Binance, but not Binance US.
Yeah, so the token technically is listed. If you got into the pre-sale, it's listed on a non. If you're in the US, you're not going to be able to access it. But it is
not mean
the decentralized exchange for XRP. So massive project. I think it's going to do really, really well. Most DeFi does well on these major chains. So. Let's go.
Just looking. It's not.
Yeah, I couldn't find it because I wasn't able to access Binance, obviously in the US over here.
Yeah. Oh well, I tried.
Yeah.
So
but
yeah,
guys,
we're in early on that.
For the pre-sale.
Yep. Definitely worth checking out. Do what you want. It's your money. Don't do what we tell you to do. Like we always say, I'm just a dude in my basement. And if you're making financial decisions based on some dude in his basement talking on the internets, you're a moron. Don't be a moron.
But
thank you, Ice. Yes, the Payments Innovation Conference. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But if you were a moron and you bought it with us live, you're up 3x.
Almost 4.
So
no. It'll be 4 at launch. Sorry.
Yeah. It will be a 4x at launch. But yeah, currently it's a 3x. But again,
although I would expect, as all pre-sales go, to have that kind of maybe either initial candle up or just that initial sell out. As soon as people can sell, they will. We'll see.
Yeah. And guys, that normally happens. So when you get into these new projects during pre-sales, you kind of have 2 options. You can either dump with everyone as soon as it spikes up and gets listed, and just
try and buy back in on the dump.
Yeah, buy back in on the dump, make what you can, or you just buy it on pre-sale and you just wait. When XRP finally starts moving, it's gonna go. So it's just, I'm personally holding mine for now, and it's just, we're just gonna wait it out because I think XRP is gonna get a lot of attention here soon.
Oh yeah, and
as it already has.
It's interesting. I think I read that all these different ETFs that got approved today, and not a single XRP ETF got approved.
They're manipulating the price. They don't want
guys they've been, by they I mean the financial portion of the government and the financial institutions that support and maybe run the government. They have been trying to keep XRP low since 2019. Why?
And I feel like they've done that with a lot of big projects. You know what I mean? And this is no secret, for the past 5 years, they've been absolutely dumping on crypto and saying it's the worst thing ever, full of scams. Don't get into it. Risky investment.
While they are investing in it.
While they're dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into this stuff and then trying to sell it to you.
And then, then they've bought it up so they can sell it as an exchange product. And Mr. Gray, that's not actually true. All of the ETFs were pulled and refiled.
I do believe that they all had to reapply. I don't know why the Canary one was listed first, though. That's interesting because I don't think they were the first to apply for it.
I don't know.
So I don't know. I wonder how that approval process works.
I don't know, but it's
probably all garbage and long and drawn out and super boring anyway. So
yeah, whatever. I'm not selling most of my HBAR. I'm not selling most of my XRP. I will take my profits and then try and roll them back in. I'll probably start. I may try and start making some long-term moves with this next dump and try and stack a little bit more Bitcoin and just leave it, put it on a ledger for my kids type thing. And then we'll do what all the big boys do, and that's ever not actually have any income and just borrow against our assets so we don't have to pay taxes.
Woo! Cheat code activated. Unlimited money glitch.
Hey, I mean, if Trump can make it happen, he's like, hey, we're just going to pay for everything with tariffs and we're going to get rid of the income tax.
Could you imagine? You imagine?
I can. Could you imagine keeping 35 to 50% of your money every year?
I don't think they're going to do it.
Nah, they won't.
Most people would probably be really excited if they did do it, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's so much exciting stuff is coming on the horizon, guys. I don't understand how people cannot be bullish on crypto right now. It is just
the newbies are scared because of that huge Black Friday dump. Yeah. And the only reason those dumped is because people were leverage trading. That's it.
It took 3 years of convincing to get my mom to buy crypto, and she's holding HBAR. So let's go.
She's back up. All right. Any other interesting news?
Mr. Gray, yes, 100%. I think that's all I had for today, JC.
Yeah, crypto's green. It's good. I'm still bored.
Yeah, this is the major news of the day, guys. So we're excited. We're probably going to be continuing to accumulate things like HBAR and XRP, DexRP, Sauce, the different DeFi exchanges, and keep a look at AI too. I know we talked about that a little bit today. AI is going to be such a massive narrative.
Yeah.
So
also good to see the markets rebounding. We pushed back our NFT launch just because. Let's just be flat out honest. If you've got some extra money, some extra liquidity right now, are you going to buy an NFT? You're going to buy more tokens that are on sale. You're going to buy tokens that are on sale. So we'll try and time that a little better. Hopefully, as people get up on their recent purchases, maybe they'll be looking to roll out some profits. So that's well, it's good to see crypto green again, because that means we can start moving forward with the NFT project.
Everybody's officially done panicking. And
win airdrop. That's right, Mr. Mark. We'll talk about that Wednesday.
Ooh, what's Wednesday?
Game night.
So, guys, if you're new to crypto or just want to have some degenerate fun and win some free money, hop into our Discord. We've given away over $250,000 in the past 3 years that we've been doing this. We've given away tons of different prizes from different projects. And, it's a good time.
We've given away access to projects that has made our community lots of money.
Yeah, definitely check out the testimonials on our website, alphaorigins.org. We'll put the link in the Discord when Jenny Wealth. That's right.
That's right.
We
do the YouTube stuff, smash the like, hit the subscribe, ring the bells, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody.
But yeah, we're going to be every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a game night event. Come join us in the Discord and win some free stuff and maybe learn a thing or two.
Yep. Have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you.
Have a special guest.
Yes, we are working on getting
Fat Man from Legends of the Mara. I actually I made a oopsie.
I was thinking of.
I know, because we.
That's why I was like,
we got some guests coming up for the game night and for the show coming, guys. So hopefully you guys will be excited about some of the news coming.
Yep. We are outie. Have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.